you surprised by the figures? Should we be worried by them?
I'm not surprised, unfortunately, because it's the area that I work in. I think what's good about them, or you could argue actually what's not so good, is that the rates of infection has stayed relatively level. So it's good that we're not, the infection rates aren't escalating. What's disappointing, though, is that they're staying the same. They're not getting less. And I'd like to see fewer and fewer new infections each year on.
It's National Testing Week. Are you trying to get the message across to draw more people into that? Do you think people are worried about what the procedure might involve and just reluctant to come forward?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a huge amount of fear, and you have to acknowledge that. We wouldn't be doing our job properly if we said there's no need to be scared. People are scared, and you look at the tabloid response to the Charlie Sheen story, you can still see that there's a huge amount of stigma in certain areas, and that's such a shame. I was very concerned that that story was going to really set us back a number of years, but actually it's brought HIV back into the spotlight. The fact that I'm here now talking to you is great news, and I think it's very important to say, HIV is a hugely manageable condition. People no longer die of HIV if they are diagnosed early enough and put on the right treatment. In fact, the biggest breakthrough is really that people on treatment now are probably no longer infectious, and that is a huge statement to be able to say. It means we could potentially completely eradicate HIV. It means we could probably have no more new infections if we could get everybody tested and on treatment, and that's a profound thing to be able to say.
I remember those adverts from years ago, the "Don't Die of Ignorance" adverts, but plenty of people are still ignorant about even the difference between HIV and AIDS. There's a long road to travel still, isn't there?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, it's very disappointing. I think it's not taught enough in schools. I think it still is a bit of a taboo subject. People still feel awkward about talking about it. We've done our best, but when you see some of the articles that were coming out in relation to Charlie Sheen and how wrong they were in their facts, that was really disappointing. But I'm hoping this week we'll get people to just go online, have a look for some information, learn a bit about it. If you feel, I don't really know a lot about it, what is the difference between HIV and AIDS? What is therapy? What is triple therapy? What does viral load mean? Go and have a look and educate yourselves. It's really important. And HIV does affect everybody, potentially. It can do. I think we do target certain groups, and that is right, because there are groups that are more infected, but actually everybody is vulnerable, and new infections are very much in the heterosexual population, in men and women, as well as the more obviously targeted groups, and I think that's important to say.